WarRoomSports.com. Get that mobile app.
What's good, War Room World, and welcome to another edition of Inside the War Room. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Dev. I'm here with the homies, Jimmy.
Yo, everybody out there, I just want you to know that, I'm an official grown man, but I do have gang ties.
And my man B. Austin.
Yo, all you down low brothers, man, stop hiding behind the fact y'all go to the doctor a lot, man. Don't go to the doctor a whole lot.
That's an insider, man. Y'all not even going to get that. Unless Jimmy show y'all the outtakes. But look, today we're here to talk about me and B. Austin's beloved Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. In a previous broadcast, when we were actually talking about Michael Vick being released, being allowed to sign elsewhere. So, and essentially, I don't know what I'm talking about right now. And essentially, what's that? Essentially, he left the team. And we touched on DeSean Jackson a little bit because at that time the rumors had just gotten started that it was possible that they were either going to release DeSean Jackson or they were seeking a trade for DeSean Jackson. Well, that hammer has dropped. DeSean Jackson has been released from the Philadelphia Eagles. Like I said on the prior broadcast, we were trying to get to the bottom of why all of a sudden DeSean Jackson and Chip Kelly had problems. Now we may have found out. An article came out, NewJersey.com, saying how DeSean Jackson has gang ties from South Central LA, where he's from, and he's been questioned by the police several times about two of the people that he's associated with having a murder case. Fellas, what are your thoughts on this whole thing? Like, is it surprising to you that they just outright released DeSean Jackson?
After what has happened with my man Aaron Rodgers and him.
You mean Aaron Hernandez?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Rodgers putting in work too?
Aaron Hernandez putting in work and his affiliations. Like, the league is scared of that. They're not trying to have it. I'm sure Chip Kelly's background being from Oregon and having a lot of young men coming from the great state of California, he's already intimately familiar with a certain subculture in the urban communities with the whole gangbanging thing and young men. And so at this point, I'm not surprised knowing where he comes from. I mean, he comes from Compton, and he comes from neighborhood blocks in Compton. So it's not surprising, but we didn't know anything about this, and it's kind of like a bomb being dropped. So now things kind of make sense. Even his record label, his record label is Jackpot. You take the K out and you put the C in there because if you put the K next to the C, that's Crip Killer, and they ain't having that. So I kind of get where all this is coming from. I do understand.
So you're saying affiliated. Let me ask Jim because I think this may be where he's going.
Well, here's
hold on, Jim. We know all of the stuff like B. Austin just said, but do you think, Jimmy, that it is an injustice that he's been released from the team, considering he hasn't been arrested for anything?
Two murders came up.
Hold on. First off, shout out to 254. Told y'all I'm gang related. Only some people will catch that. But yo, with that being said, listen, man. At the end of the day, all of us are gang related. Some of us, both of you brothers, I guarantee you know somebody, or you have, maybe 2-3 degrees separation from somebody who's in the gang. What does that mean? This man has never been arrested. I think it's BS. My thing is, if you wanted to release the man, release the man. Bringing this story up now.
In a day. I mean, I'm sorry.
Bringing this story up now is kind of whack to me, man. I mean, this dude hasn't even been pulled over for speeding or nothing. He's been released.
We don't know how.
Listen, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Now, if something else comes out that he was affiliated or he was there for these murders or what have you, that's cool. But you want to punish this man because someone he knows laid the murder game down? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, that's BS. And my thing is, this story comes out all of a sudden. At first, I thought it was because the communication was bad. It's like, yo, if you want to get rid of the man, get rid of the man.
Jimmy, it's hard to communicate with gangsters. I mean,
no, but listen. All right, here's, I'll say a few things and then try to form stuff in question form so I can, so you guys can answer. But okay, we talked about the Aaron Hernandez thing. B. Austin mentioned that. I agree that the NFL is probably scared to death right now. I'm pretty sure that the Eagles don't think in any shape, form that DeSean Jackson is a killer or anything like that. But I think it's one of those questions, one of those age-old questions of, once you make it, do you have to disassociate yourself
with the hood?
With the hood, essentially. And it's not just that he knows them. I mean, they've been digging, obviously, because there's pictures floating around the internet of DeSean Jackson hugged up with these guys in photos, throwing up the Crip signs and gang signs and things like that.
Photos old as shit.
I mean, I'm going somewhere with this. Like,
I got you. I'm following you. Let's go.
I just want to know, like, I don't know. Jimmy messed up my train of thought on that.
Fuck it, brother.
But I'm saying they have the photos and all that kind of stuff. But is that enough? Considering, like I said, we got to keep considering the whole Aaron Hernandez thing. Is that enough to justify, releasing this man?
No. My thing is this: if you start digging with all the players in the league, how many players will know someone or be affiliated with someone, who's a criminal, for lack of a better term? I mean, they're going to start doing this to everybody.
It's a matter of it's subjective. So I don't think it's just one thing. I think that number one, it's his cap number. Number two, it's the fact that he's over. It's about the bread. He's a little overrated for what he's doing. And then one of the things that I have to point to for the slander that I'm going to get for saying that he's overrated, I do think DeSean is a good player, and I'd rather have his talent on the roster. But he's not this world beater that people claim or think he is based on the ESPN Sports Center highlights.
He's not a number one.
Fans are up in arms about him.
Yeah, and the other thing that I want to point out,
Jerry Rice,
is they've tried to shop him to other teams, and you don't think teams have called on that? Yo, they're not willing to give up a third-round pick or a second-round pick and take a $12.5 million.
I was going to say it's the bread that teams aren't really trying to.
I'm giving up a pick and I'm taking on $12.5 million. He's not worth that.
Right. No, but what Jimmy's saying, he's saying it's the money. I agree, it's the money, but I think you still have to weigh the money versus, this quote-unquote trouble that might be coming down the pike. Like, you think about it, like, we're about to pay this dude almost $11 million, and, the police are calling him twice, questioning him about murders. Are we willing to put up with where this may go with somebody that we're paying all this money to?
The goons is running up.
People are saying that the whole gang relation thing is kind of a scapegoat, which, in some ways it probably is.
The goons is running up in his crib.
I think it's still related to. I still think it's related to why they released him, because if you think about it, they still could have shopped him for a trade. As soon as he was released, 6 teams called his agent to see what was up. So, besides the fact that it was going to be difficult to move him in a trade because of what he's due to make this season, and plus what the Eagles' asking price was, I still think there's no way, if the fears weren't real within the organization, there's no way they just would have released this man without making a concerted effort to really get something back from him.
Now,
that isn't even here yet. So, major trade time, you still had time.
No, and you're right, and that may be the case. I just don't want to jump the gun and say, hey, they're fraud. I mean, I just don't like the timing of the whole story releasing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems weird to me. I'm not trying to be a protectionist or anything like that, but to have this story come out, and the story actually came out after he was cut, like, it just seems kind of funky to me. My thing is, if you don't want this man to get squad,
it came out a few hours before. And it may be one of those things.
He was already cut at that point, though.
It may have been one of those things where the Eagles knew about this story, knew it was coming out, so they were trying to.
I mean, it could be that too. I mean, my thing is, I want to see how this whole story plays out. But right now, from talking right now, not after it plays out. So for y'all, let's just say he murked somebody. Nobody come and calling me crazy. But as of right now, I mean, it just seems kind of, it don't seem right, yo. It just ain't right, all right. You know what I mean?
I mean,
word to Cousin Harold, it just ain't right, all right.
It definitely doesn't. And like I said, I just think there's a fear out there amongst NFL teams now because, when we thought Aaron Hernandez was just gang affiliated, and then a day later we find out he's been putting in serious work. I just think that bombshell hit the NFL in such a way where nobody thought. Everybody knows, like, plenty of people in the league, have probably been in gangs, have gang affiliations.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like Aaron Hernandez.
Nobody was expecting. Yeah, nobody was expecting that. So
I mean,
the league is very reactionary.
Yeah,
so.
it's a reactionary. But let me throw this out there, and I'm not saying that the brother should be penalized for his history, especially if he doesn't have any charges. He doesn't have anything, in his past that he's necessarily been arrested for, or more importantly, convicted for. Because everybody get arrested, but convicted of. I kind of get where you're coming from. But we all know, being fans of the Eagles, having been, intimately involved in Philadelphia professional sports from a media standpoint, we know the lifestyle that DeSean Jackson leads and what he's involved with in terms of even the music industry. Like, dude he capitalizes on being kind of a hood dude. I think he's
a little bit of a wannabe thug.
Yeah, he's a kind of, and he's still got cats running up in his crib, taking dope. Like he's involved in peripheral. He's on the periphery of the street life, and he wants that to be a part of his image. So now it's kind of like chickens coming home to roost. Like I don't know, man.
All I'm saying is this, man. Yo, because of Ray Caruth, let's just go get everybody who got baby mama drama and cut them too. Word to Ray Caruth.
Now, one thing that I've heard from hundreds of fans so far today that I'm kind of tired of hearing is everybody bringing up, well, they released him, but Riley Cooper can go out and call everybody nigga on video and he gets a pay raise. First of all, we talked about the bread earlier. Like, Riley Cooper makes like $5 million.
His number ain't D Jackson's number.
What DeSean Jackson's cap number is. I mean, furthermore, these two things are mutually exclusive. Now, right. I'm a black man. Riley Cooper saying, calling a bunch of black people niggas offended me, but at the same time, no matter how mad we get about that word and
so they caught that first
and
touchdown.
Who uses it, when they're not allowed to use it, it's not illegal.
Yeah.
It's not illegal to be a racist. It's just not.
It's freedom of expression. And that's how he feels.
Unless you act in a criminal manner on your feelings about race. So, for everybody trying to relate these two stories to each other. Now, by saying that, I am in no way saying that DeSean Jackson has done anything illegal either.
I was about to say it ain't illegal to be gang affiliated either.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, but however, the stuff that he's being questioned about, if by some chance, and I said the same thing on Facebook, if by some chance he ends up being a part of anything that happened, those two murders that they are investigating, or that they investigated, that they called him about, if anything like that came up, that kind of stuff is illegal. So I'm not saying he's done anything illegal now, so he probably shouldn't be punished. But at the same time, you have to put yourself in an organization's shoes. Their fear of what might be is why they probably had to react. You know what I'm saying? Not that he did anything, but that's
another part. It's another part to the story, Dev, that I was thinking about, and it really, because the whole gang thing. I mean, outside of that, like I said, I don't like the way that dropped, but I also think that Chip Kelly is trying to put his stamp on his team.
Yes, sir.
He's trying to he's got rid of Vic, he's got rid of DeSean Jackson at this point. He's trying to get quote unquote his guys.
Yes, sir.
It's his team now. D Jackson was first person he thanked on the way out was Andy Reid. Like, that's Andy Reid's son.
Yeah.
I just hope he don't go to the Chiefs for Christ's sake. We gotta play. Anyway, but with that being said, I'm just saying, so I think that's another part of it. Like, Chip Kelly just trying to move on from all those guys. So
huge. Yo, that's a huge point, Jimmy. That's a huge point.
That's what I do, good brother.
Yeah, no doubt. And there's a lot of speculation about Chip targeting Oregon players, because you realize that anybody that's been in Oregon longer than two seasons is a Chip Kelly regime recruit. So he's targeting. There's a gentleman that's coming out, and they project him to be low second, high third, by the name of Brandon Cooks. At the combine, his numbers were almost identical to D Jackson, and he's 10 pounds heavier. So they're looking at a guy that's weighing somewhere in the 185 to 190 range, ran a 4.33, Had phenomenal 3-cone drill, had a phenomenal 60-yard shuttle, just phenomenal numbers.
Short shuttle.
So yeah, short shuttle. So what the speculation is they plan to try and draft him and plug him in and say, yo, you go take the top off the defense. You know, you go do the same thing.
An Oregon guy, Chip Kelly's probably going to trade up and draft him in a spot he doesn't deserve to be drafted.
Drafted in, and he's going to be a bust.
How embarrassing! Chip Kelly went to the draft and took everybody from Oregon.
Shout out Brandon Cooks.
Jim, I'll tackle punch his ass. He do that.
Shout out to Shaq.
Shout out to Shaq, man.
Shaq in a fool.
I'll tackle punch somebody. All right, so this situation, it's crazy.
Guys, he's just a gangbanger with speed.
We said that before, actually, and it turned out
as a joke.
True.
As a joke.
But no, seriously, no, for everybody out there, DeSean Jackson, as far as we know, hasn't done anything wrong. It may be that, we all know how in professional sports and not just professional sports, like in the professional world, period. Like if I'm working a corporate job, I can't roll up to work every day with my dudes from the hood. They outside in the parking lot playing loud music and stuff like that. They want you to disassociate yourself from that kind of stuff, kind of mature a little bit. That doesn't mean that you don't have to be somebody's friend. You know what I'm saying? We've seen this whole story with Allen Iverson time and time again, where they were saying, his entourage was bringing him down as a professional. So we've seen this story a lot before. I guess we just haven't seen a team just straight up give up on somebody. But I really do think their fears go beyond just him being affiliated with people. Think about it. You brothers run a successful business right now in War Room Sports. If one of your employees, if somebody was calling the work line, the police, saying, yeah, I want to question your employee, you might start to feel a little,
my first question
skeptical about that situation, and you might not want that type of attention on your organization.
What's their cap number?
Is he snitching? He's snitching on everything.
Y'all have legitimate questions. B. Austin, is he snitching? Jimmy, what's his cap number? Yeah, all those things will go into account to see if this employee is worth, the trouble that we might be going through.
Just to buttress the point that Brother Devin is making, this is the bottom line, right? When you are employed, your time is no longer your own time. That time has been purchased for a thing called your salary or your hourly wage. So between the times of whatever it is that you work, whether it's 9 to 5 and a good, educated brother in the bank type job, or it's 12 in the morning to 8 in the morning on the third shift hour, whatever it is, once you're affiliated with that job, you represent that company and that brand. So you're sort of a brand ambassador. Now athletes are a little different, so they believe that they have certain things that they can get away with in terms of their lifestyle, in terms of what they do because of their status. And this is just a reminder that you are a very well paid, highly paid, highly privileged employee and a brand ambassador for the NFL and the Philadelphia Eagles. So now,
$40 million slave.
So no matter what you think or I think about how fair it is, how unfair it is, how it's wrong of the Eagles to do that, how they are his employer, and they don't want that in their organization. Do I agree with it? No, but
at some point you can't argue with that.
No, man. Here's the thing, though. All the talking we did, the bottom line is, if he made $5 million a year, he'd still be an Eagle. It's just that simple.
Probably.
But that's a cost benefit analysis.
Yeah.
$5
million a year. I can take the cops calling here once or twice for $5
on a murder. I can take a body. at $3 million.
See, but fellas, this personifies. Now, I'm not just going to put it on the younger generation, because this started in our generation. This personifies our generation and the generation after ours, as far as athletes go. Because like B. Austin was just saying, this is what they do with their fame. They want to still stay as close to the hood as they can. Like they're listening to too many Havoc lyrics. No matter how much loot I get, I'm staying in the projects. But like, why can't they be more like just like Magic? Like when he was in there, he used his he used his fame for good. I mean, it ended up in a bad place, but all Magic wanted to do was tickle a little booty, you know.
Yo, but you know what? Here's the thing, Dev.
Magic wasn't out there cripping.
Here's the thing, Dev. I get exactly what you're saying, but this has been a problem since the beginning. It's just that now with media and with where we are from a technological standpoint, we know a lot more. But guys back in the 50s and 60s still hung on the hood. They still had
shout out to Pee Wee Kirkland.
They were dope boys like Pee Wee, but a lot of them were on dope. They
had gangbangers who had the satin jackets, but they still had gangbangers around them. It was just different though. Because think about this.
Shout out to Carlton Hines.
Yeah, Duncan Hines. But the thing is this though. We didn't know about their personal life in general. Back then, we didn't even know what their salaries were. You know what I'm saying? Now we have access to everything.
They had to sell dope with them salaries.
Now we got
I get that, and I agree with it.
So I think the problems have always been there. It's just now they have to be smarter because they have to understand that times have changed. You know what I mean?
No,
times have changed.
I don't think it's just the media. I think that there's kind of a self-fulfilling sort of thing or a perpetual thing here because with the media comes a more it's more glorification because it's more exposure to it. So with it being more under wraps, there's less people exposed to it, so there's less people to glorify it and do it. Now with it being everywhere,
what you said at this point. What did you just say?
With it being everywhere, with the media access, it's glorified. So there's more people looking at it, and so hence there's more people wanting to emulate it.
No, I get that. No, but what I was saying is I don't think that the attitude or behavior has changed. I think that the attitude and behavior has always been there, but like you just said, there's more people looking at it because of where we are. You know, word to Pee Wee Kirkland. I'm just saying that these people have always had, you know, scary figures around them. They've always been in the streets. I mean, this is a segment of the sports population that has always been this way. It's just now we know they're that way. As a matter of fact, now they're showing us. They're on IG showing us that they're in the hood.
Most of those guys back then, though, they was doing the dope. They wasn't trying to move the dope. Except for
yeah. I mean,
Pee Wee. Still shout out to Pee Wee. But
Legend and 2 James, doggy.
Yeah. Tackle punch his ass if he don't cut his hair though. Come on, Pee Wee. Cut your hair, dog. That's not hot. That's not hot at all. All right, man. So D-Jack is gone.
Damn.
It's a wrap.
It's like Bill. I don't think D-Jack is Megatron or anybody like that, but I would rather have him on the team as a fan of the Eagles than not. However, now that he's not, like, I'm not going to sit here up in arms like I've seen a lot of Eagles fans today.
Devin.
I'm moving on. Like
Devin, would you say
the next one?
Would you say that Chip's system enhances or inflates wide receivers' numbers? Anyway, would you say that?
I think so, and his system is really predicated on doing a lot of stuff in space. So I really don't think, you know, DeSean over the top is going to be. It would have been as prevalent in the offense as it was under Andy Reid in the first place.
Don't let him go to the Chiefs. But here's the thing, though.
He's going to go somewhere where somebody's going to utilize him like he's supposed to.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, last thing I want to say before we get out of here is that, you know, this is Chip Kelly's team now. He's making the decisions. He had a great season for his first season, so you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. If he falls flat on his face, he falls flat on his face, but this is officially his team. He's getting rid of all the old guys, so there'll probably be some more people to go. And then he's putting his stamp on his team, so we'll see what happens.
Word to Patrick Chung.
But DeSean and Chip kissed and made up, and DeSean said he was coming back. But I think this story coming out gives them an out to do what Chip wanted to do in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Look,
but hold on. You think they're gonna set a precedent? You think everybody, when they want to cut somebody, gonna be like, "Yo, see who he knows." see, go check his IG.
No, right too. When they want to cut somebody and they don't really have a good reason, when you want to cut somebody after they had the greatest season of their carear,
just say they were gangbangers.
You hire a private investigator and dig up any dirt that they may have.
Yo, word to Norm Nixon.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know that, but the Lakers had his ass followed for like several weeks. So I need to read books. I'll find that out. Check out Showtime by Jeff Pearlman, by the way. You'll see everything that happened on the Lakers dynasty. But we're not here for that. You guys make sure you subscribe to the page so you know whenever we drop a new video. Make sure you like this video and leave your opinions in the comment section. We know that we said some stuff today that probably pissed some of y'all off.
Yeah, B. Austin called him overrated.
Yeah, say something.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You feeling froggy? Then jump. You know, we talk. I know we want to definitely start a dialogue. So you guys leave your opinions in the comment section. Was D-Jack stiffed by the Eagles? Like, you tell us. Tell us. Just,
like
no doctor visit.
Let us know what you think. I pretty much know what most people by demographic is going to say because
no
we've seen it all on social media.
No sloppy.
But look, man, for these crazy dudes down here, B. Austin and Jimmy, I'm Devin. This has been another episode of Inside the War Room, brought to you by War Room Sports. Like we always tell y'all, don't accept mediocrity and be steadfast in the war against ignorance.
See you chumps on top. R.I.P.
Stay out them streets.
Kuwait is the war room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys diversified.